that dog will be comfortable coming into this room again today and facing me. He's not going to do it. If I act like a complete prey on him, he's still not going to be comfortable. The dog was pushed somewhere that he is absolutely uncomfortable at. So, in turn, it's going to take a little bit of time for his nerves to come back down, for him to settle, for him to clear his mind, and understand, yeah, you know what, I'm okay. That wasn't such a bad situation. The lessons that he learned is that, you know what, dude, I'm scared. And he was. He was scared. But even though I'm scared, if I come forward and I show aggression, the bad guy leaves. When he came forward at me hard, my body language changed every time. It went from being aggressive to being cowardly. My shoulders changed, my legs changed, my head motion changed, my facial expressions changed. Oh, dude, you're a badass. You know? Come back at him again, make him cower. Come back at him again, make him cower. By the end of it, he was at the end of the line, which is leaps and bounds above where he was starting with. Is he uncomfortable? Absolutely. No doubt about it. Do I think it's a bad uncomfortable? I don't, or I wouldn't have done it. Now, am I saying that I'm right? No, I'm not. Am I saying that's the only way to go about it? No, I'm not saying that either. There's many different training techniques out there, many different thoughts. And by no means do I think mine are the best or even right all the time. I make mistakes just like anybody. But I think that dog got stronger during that session.
I missed the start of it. Y'all talking about Eddie? Who are you talking about?
No, we're talking about Jack.
Jack. Okay.
And you know, the other thing is, if you look at a lot of the police dogs that were trained between late 80s, late 90s, even into the 2000s, there was never any pressure put on those dogs as far as a decoy fighting back. And once they got into a street and got a real life fight, and they got hurt, the dogs were flunked out. If the dog was shot, if the dog was hit in the street, if he was hurt in any way, they never worked the dogs again because they never built it from the beginning. And all of those dogs, you know, after one incident were flunked out. You know, the advantage in that situation is that you usually have multiple cops with multiple guns if the dog fails. In a protection situation, you don't have that option. It's you and the dog. And, you know, I didn't see anything in Jack that is wrong. You know, he's weak in a certain area. It could have been something that he's just weak at. It could have been something that, you know, he was hit when he was younger or whatever. But at some point, you've got to face those fears. It's like a kid sleeping with the light, being scared of the dark. At some point, as a parent, you've got to turn the light off and let the kid know that it's okay.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. And I understand what Wayne is saying, too.
No, I understand. I'm just, you know, in the situation that you explained that they didn't pressure these dogs and a lot of the dogs flunked out. A lot of dogs would have flunked out anyway. Not all of them can do it.
No, I'm not talking about the dogs after they got on the streets.
Yeah.
They were put through the program.
Through the training
They passed.
process.
They went on the streets. They were on the streets working. He got sent on a decoy and he got hit with a stick. He got shot. He got kicked. Something happened to him in the line of work on the street.
Right.
And the dogs were washed out immediately after that point because they could never rebuild them because they never taught them it was part of the job.
Right.
And that's where they fail. And that's where I think a lot of decoys fail, is by not putting it. You know, take those two ring bitches that I had. One of the best ring trainers in the nation had those dogs. You know, as soon as you make a sound, they completely jump off. You know, those dogs were strictly done for prey work.
Right.
And realistically, they're probably too old to ever rebuild the other direction. And in any sport other than ring sport, where a decoy can make a sound, those two dogs can be ran. And, you know, the same situation happens with Jack. If it's not built and dealt with and gets through, you put him on a PSA field, you put him on an SDA, you put him on, you know, that's the SDA exercise, the level one without the bite. The decoy runs in, challenges the dog in a 360-degree circle, yelling with the stick in the air. You know, and the dog has to stay full and frontal and take the pressure. You know, and that's the easiest, you know, title to get in personal protection out there. And if Jack's not pushed into it to let him know that it's okay and he can win in those situations, he's never going to be able to get that.
You know, a lot of individuals that have never done this type of work usually feel very similar to how you feel. No doubt about it. My take on it is this. Any given Saturday, come to my club, work my dog. See the difference. And I don't mean that arrogant. Please don't take it that way. But what I mean is when a dog learns to transition between multiple drives. You know, a lot of people talk about this figmentary fight drive. I don't believe in fight drive as an individual drive. I don't believe it exists. A dog transitions, in my opinion, between prey and defense. If you look at a dog in the wild, a wolf in the wild, a coyote in the wild, there's no such thing as fight. It doesn't exist. There's either defense, which is fight or flight, and then there's prey, as pure drives are concerned. So, fight, as people see it, is, in my opinion, a consistent transition between prey and defense. A dog is engaging with aggression through the defense, but he's blowing off all of that stress that defense brings through prey. So if you can teach a dog to be able to channel and transition between those two drives, he'll stand up and fight any bad guy in the world within reason. You know, now you take a dog and start hitting him with a machete, yeah, he's not going to keep fighting. You know, but within reason, a dog that learns to transition correctly and has the other genetic traits that it needs, nerve, courage, things of that nature, then the dog will truly fight a man. And there's a huge difference between what you generally see and a dog that transitions correctly. And it's a much easier thing just to show you what I mean by letting you see the dogs and catch the dogs and work the dogs. You know, there's no dog in the world that can't be ran. Every single dog anywhere can be ran somehow. The thing is to teach a dog to engage a bad guy with real aggression and how to correctly alleviate that stress so they can stay in the fight. Make sense? Not make sense?
No, it makes
Makes
sense.
sense. Makes sense to me.
Anyone that
Hey Rob, when you take him out in case we do something on the leash,